Imagine being the commissioner of a league fighting for more attention and higher salaries. And instead of celebrating your biggest star, you're caught on camera talking about her endorsement money. That's right, new footage has surfaced of WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert making eyebrow-raising comments about Caitlin Clark's millions in endorsements. This isn't just awkward, it's unprofessional, because instead of focusing on how to grow the league, Cathy seemed more interested in what's in Caitlin's pockets.
Obviously, I did not make those comments. Caitlin has been a transformational player in this league. She's been a great representative of the game.
And now, Cathy's denying it. She says she never made those remarks, that it's all being taken out of context. But the footage is out there, and fans aren't buying it. This isn't just awkward, it's a leadership problem. When the commissioner looks more focused on a rookie's bank account than on growing the league and then tries to deny what we've all seen and heard, it raises some serious questions. Let's break down how we got here. The clip that surfaced isn't grainy. It's not out of context. It's Cathy Engelbert herself, sitting on a panel openly talking about Caitlin Clark's endorsement money. You can hear it in her tone. Half a compliment, half a dig. She pointed out how Caitlin came into the league as a millionaire and mentioned the value of her deals almost as if it was a problem. For fans who adore Clark and see her as the face of a new WNBA era, it felt like Cathy wasn't celebrating her success. She was criticizing it. The timing couldn't have been worse. This footage popped up just as fans have been debating how the league treats its biggest names. Instead of praising Clark for bringing in fans, boosting ticket sales, and raising the league's profile, the commissioner came off as someone keeping tabs on her bank account. That's not a good look for a leader who should be focused on growing the pie for everyone, not counting a player's slices. I've seen a lot of league executives. The best of them stay focused on the big picture, building the brand, raising revenues, and improving the product. Cathy Engelbert, in that moment, looked like she had her priorities completely backward. Why would the commissioner of a major sports league feel the need to talk about one player's endorsement earnings? That's not her job. Her job is to create an environment where stars like Caitlin Clark can thrive and help lift the entire league. What made it worse was how Cathy framed it. She almost seemed to suggest that Caitlin should be grateful for the WNBA platform as if her success was owed to the league, not the other way around. That's laughable. Clark brought millions of new fans into the WNBA. Her college games broke viewing records. She boosted ticket sales everywhere she went. If anything, the league owes her thanks, not sideways comments about her bank account.
So I think, obviously, a lot of reporting, a lot of inaccuracy about what I said or what I didn't say. And I will tell you, I highly respect the players.
To really understand why Cathy's comments felt so out of touch, you've got to look at how the sports landscape has changed. Thanks to the new NIL, name, image, and likeness rules, college athletes can now sign endorsement deals. Caitlin Clark and even Angel Reese entered the league already as millionaires. That's not a bad thing. It's a sign that women's basketball finally has real star power. But here's the problem. While these athletes were cashing in during college, the WNBA's salary cap still hasn't caught up. A rookie of Clark's caliber earns far less in league salary than she made in college endorsements. That should have been Cathy Engelbert's wake-up call to push for higher wages and modernize the business side. Instead, she chose to point out Clark's earnings like it was some kind of issue. It showed a disconnect. Rather than harnessing that star power to grow the WNBA's brand, Cathy came off as someone annoyed that a rookie was already financially ahead of the league she runs. Here's where it gets really embarrassing for Cathy Engelbert. In a recent press conference, she denied ever making those kinds of remarks. She said she was disheartened by the way her conversation was being portrayed. That might have worked, if not for the footage. The resurfaced clip makes it clear she did bring up Caitlin Clark's millions. She can't claim it was taken out of context. That's the problem when you're in a leadership position. Your words matter. You can't downplay your own player's success on camera one year, then try to deny it the next. It makes you look untrustworthy. For fans and players who've already been critical of how the league handles its stars, this felt like proof that Cathy isn't on the same page as the people she's supposed to lead. It's not just about what she said, it's about the attitude behind it. Let's be real here. Caitlin Clark has been the single biggest game changer for the WNBA in years. From the moment she entered the draft, ticket sales spiked. Road games featuring Clark started selling out. Her jersey became the hottest item in the league. Broadcast ratings went up. People who never watched a WNBA game before started tuning in. That's the kind of star power every league dreams of. Instead of embracing her as the future of the league, Cathy Engelbert was caught sounding like someone keeping tabs on her finances. Fans noticed, sponsors noticed, even other players noticed. The league desperately needs to ride the wave of Clark's popularity to push for bigger TV deals, better marketing, and more respect for the women's game. But it's hard to do that when the person in charge can't seem to stop worrying about what Clark is making off the court. Here's what makes this whole situation even more ridiculous. Can you imagine Adam Silver, the NBA Commissioner, publicly talking about how much Steph Curry makes from his sneakers? Or Roger Goodell breaking down Patrick Mahomes' sponsorships? Of course not. Because real leaders understand that star players' endorsements don't take away from the league, they add to it. Those commissioners work to grow the brand alongside their stars. They see the value of having globally recognized players who bring attention, fans, and sponsors. Cathy Engelbert's comments made her look petty. It gave the impression that instead of partnering with her biggest star to grow the WNBA, she was resentful of her success. And that's just bad optics for a league still trying to compete for attention in the crowded sports market. If the commissioner looks jealous of her own players, it sends the wrong message to fans, partners, and future stars. These comments don't just hurt Cathy Engelbert's image, they risk creating tension inside the league. Imagine being a young rookie like Caitlin Clark, walking into a locker room already full of veterans. There's naturally some competitiveness there. Now imagine knowing that the league's own commissioner has been caught highlighting how much money you make off the court. That only fuels jealousy. It adds to the divide between players who are household names and those still trying to make a living wage in the league. A good commissioner would be working to bring players together, not giving them more reasons to feel divided. By focusing on Clark's earnings, instead of the league's bigger challenges like salaries, travel, and officiating, Cathy made herself part of the problem rather than the solution. The WNBA has been growing in popularity, but it still needs strong leadership to keep that momentum going. Fans want to see better marketing, fairer officiating, and an overall better product on the court. Instead, this controversy made fans question if the league's leadership even understands what makes the game grow. People don't tune in to hear about players' endorsement money. They tune in to watch great basketball and root for stars like Caitlin Clark. Cathy Engelbert's remarks made it feel like the league isn't ready to fully support its own biggest draw. That's a problem for anyone who wants to see women's basketball finally reach the next level. If the fans start to think the leadership is holding the league back instead of pushing it forward, that can hurt ticket sales, sponsorships, and the sport's long-term credibility. You can't help but wonder how Caitlin Clark feels about all this. She came into the league with excitement and a vision to grow the game. But hearing the commissioner make comments about her off-court income could easily sour that relationship. Clark is still young, and her best years are ahead of her. If she starts to feel undervalued or even targeted by league leadership, she has options. International leagues are willing to pay top dollar for stars like her. That's the last thing the WNBA should want. Driving away the player who's bringing in millions of new fans would be a massive mistake. This whole incident should be a wake-up call for Cathy Engelbert and the league. You don't alienate your most important player. You build around her. Of course, when the backlash hit, Cathy Engelbert tried to walk it all back. In a press conference, she said I did not make those comments, by the way her conversation was portrayed, and insisted she never made those remarks about Caitlin Clark's endorsements. But here's the problem. The footage exists. We've all heard her say it. You can't just wave your hands and hope people forget the words that came out of your mouth on camera. What makes it even worse is that her denial came off as defensive and hollow. It wasn't the response of a confident leader setting the record straight. It felt like someone caught red-handed trying to downplay the damage. As an analyst who's seen plenty of sports controversies, this is a textbook case of poor crisis management. The right move would have been to own up, admit it was a mistake, and refocus on supporting the league's stars. Instead, Cathy doubled down and made herself look even more out of touch. It's almost comical. You can't praise Clark's impact one day, complain about her income the next, and then act shocked when people call you out. Fans and players don't like mixed signals, especially from their commissioner. And in trying to deny what we've all seen and heard, Cathy just gave critics more reason to question her credibility. It's hard to lead a league when no one believes what you say. At the end of the day, this controversy isn't just about a single comment, it's about leadership. A good commissioner wouldn't be caught pointing out a player's endorsement deals in a way that sounds resentful. A good commissioner would be figuring out how to use that player's star power to lift the entire league. Women's basketball has a golden opportunity right now. Players like Caitlin Clark are bringing in fans, sponsors, and media attention the WNBA has never seen before. The last thing the league needs is leadership that seems stuck in old ways of thinking. If Cathy Engelbert wants to lead this league into a brighter future, she needs to stop worrying about what's in Clark's pockets and start focusing on what's in the league's future. And if she can't do that, maybe it's time to find someone who can.